And that's another thing too. A lot of the professors they don't recognize early college students there.
Yeah.
Because there's others like from here that also go there. And when I remember I told my professor, oh, I'm like 16 years old. And he looked at me like, you're 16? I'm like, yeah.
Hey, welcome to Office Hours, episode 2 of a great podcast from the Estacada School District. We are so excited to be able to really communicate on multiple platforms, be that social media, Facebook, through our websites, through different emails. But one of the things that we've learned over the last several years is so many of our community members get their news and information from the podcast platform. And so we wanted to open up the Office of the Superintendent on the podcast platform to be able to share the insights, the big decisions, the hot topics, and the great things happening inside your very own local Estacada School District. So thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ryan Carpenter, and I so very proudly serve as the superintendent of your Estacada School District. And thank you for joining us today. Today's going to be a fun day because we're going to be talking deeply about college credit opportunities and making sure that the Estacada School District continues to be innovative and compete in a very big school choice, parent choice world. But before I get started, I just wanted to share, I'm wearing today something that a group of students have given me from the Women's Flag Football Program. I'm representing the Flag Football Program today. One of the great things that Estacada High School has done this year is really expanded the opportunities for all students to participate in more extracurricular activities. And this year was the first year of the embarkment, the official embarkment of our Women's Flag Football Program. Even though they've been going for 2 seasons, the OSAA has turned this into an emerging sport. And I'm so excited to share with our community that we had 18 female athletes participate in women's flag football this year. It was such a tremendous success. We were able to honk the train horn for big touchdowns, and just the enthusiasm and the excitement around this program just continues to be tremendous. And I want to recognize Brian Scott, who has served as the head coach. And this program not only continues to get better competitively, but also continues to raise and increase the participation levels. I also want to recognize our first ever men's volleyball program. This is also a spring sport opportunity for some of our male students interested in the game of volleyball and the opportunity to compete at the state level. One of the cool things about this program is just about 2 weeks ago, they won their first ever men's volleyball state championship. The Estacada School District and Estacada High School is working so hard to build a culture of champions. And this program has truly represented that in all ways, up to and including winning the final game to celebrate a big state championship and to bring that trophy home to Estacada High School. We are so very proud of them and their head coach, Sue Busk, who has just been Sue Doan, who's also, her name used to be Busk, and she's just such a reputable volleyball coach, and we're so lucky to have her inside our organization, and not only leading the women's volleyball program, which is extremely competitive, but bringing home a state championship as well. In fact, Sue Doan, later this summer, will be recognized as Oregon's State Volleyball Coach of the Year. And so we're just so proud of Sue, so proud that she's a part of our program, and also so proud that we're continuing to recruit and retain some of the most qualified and talented people, be that on the athletic fields or in the classrooms. Estacada School District is really bringing in talent, which is making us that nationally recognized school district that we're all so very proud of. But I'm here to talk today about continuing to compete and be innovative in a brand new world. Really, since COVID, when more parents were introduced to different opportunities of learning remotely, learning at your own pace, and getting new opportunities other than the traditional K-12 elementary school, middle school, and high school process. The Estacada School District, different than just fighting for the status quo or working hard to bring schools back to the way that they were prior to COVID, we have really tried to compete in that brand new world. As you read on the news or watch commercials, the ire or interest or really just the advertisements around going to charter schools. We've got a lot of people across the United States of America who are choosing to co-op with other families and homeschool their children, attend private schools that better meets families' moralistic visions and values. We understand all of those options, and we absolutely empower parents to make educational choices that best fits their families. But in order for our Estacada School District to continue to retain its families who live inside our great 750 square mile school district boundary and the new families who are moving into our community, it has become a top priority to make sure that we're offering the services that meet the needs of our family. Be that our alternative school, allowing students to learn at their own pace, different than in the one-size-fits-all K-12 experience. Be that in some of our elective opportunities where we're in the process of overhauling our career technical education pathways, allowing students who are not interested in the college pathway to have better opportunities to go directly into the workforce or into apprenticeships. We're working very hard to offer those capabilities for our students and our families. But the one we're talking about today is the opportunity for our students to achieve and attain more college credit opportunities. This community has been very loud and clear about their demand and desires to make sure that students are getting the opportunity to not only achieve regular high school credits, but also to have the opportunity to achieve college credits while experiencing their high school processes. Now, we know that high schools across the United States of America have always offered dual credit opportunities, and Estacada High School is no different than that. But it was our goal post-COVID to really put together a program allowing students to walk across the graduation stage, achieving an associate's degree from a local community college, while at the same time achieving their high school diploma. This has been an ask and a demand from our community for several years now, and I'm so excited to be able to talk about this pathway and this opportunity, ultimately allowing a different route for some of our high school students to engage in. I'm joined today by high school principal Leah Riedel. Leah is such a fantastic leader in our school district, and in her short term of leading Estacada High School, we have seen tremendous transformation, be that in employee satisfaction, student satisfaction, and parent satisfaction. Under Leah's leadership, Estacada High School is just on fire right now, figuratively, not literally. But at the same time, Leah has just been a tremendous asset to our school district and to our organization and community as a whole. So hello, Leah. How are you today?
Hi, Ryan. I'm good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me today.
We're so lucky to have you. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your history in Estacada, and your experience so far leading Estacada High School.
All right. Well, this is my first year as serving as principal at Estacada High School. I'm very, very honored to serve in that role here. I am a Estacada High School graduate myself.
Class of?
96.
All right.
And over the course of my educational career, coming back home has been really important to me because I care so strongly about our school, our community, and want to have an impact here.
Yeah, that's great. And, one of the things I think is so cool about this community is really our encouragement of trying to get people to graduate from Estacada High School, move on to get the credentials that they need. But then ultimately, the dream of Estacada is to have its children come back and be able to participate and contribute back to a community that we have loved so much. And so, I know you graduated from Estacada High School. What happened after Estacada High School, and why did you come back to this awesome community?
Well, let's see. I graduated high school here, then went and finished college at Portland State University, moved to Las Vegas, started teaching there. And when I came back, I took a position with North Clackamas School District, which I loved. I taught English language development there, and then became a teacher on special assignment with their district office supporting the Title III and English learner programming, and really developed a passion for helping create accessible learning opportunities for all students. Yeah. And I am a member of this community. It's my home. It's where my own children go or have gone to school. And putting my energy and time and service into the community and the people that I know and care about so much is helps fill my bucket, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome. And no doubt about it, since you've been back, like your contributions have just been incredible. And I just want to state too, for people to know that when Leah was working in the North Clackamas School District, and of course we knew that Leah was an Estacada alumni and lived in the community and was a part of it, but Leah was a shining star in North Clackamas. And so she was on our radar for a very long time. And we are just also proud and not sorry to steal Leah from the North Clackamas School District to come and be a part of what we were trying to build. And Leah's, fingerprints are all over some of just the incredible improvements that our school district has made as a whole. And we always are looking for talent and opportunities to steal great educators to come be a part of that. And Leah is no different inside of that. And so that's great. But, as we talk about this full-time CCC program, I'd love for you to just let our listeners just kind of hear and better understand what this CC program is and what it's doing for students right now.
Sure. So as you mentioned, post-pandemic, we really started listening very closely to our student and family voices. And there was a lot of interest for more and different academic options, and particularly for students who are college bound and looking to make that transition and achieve these advanced coursework, while they were also able to continue participating with our EHS students alongside their peers in activities and extracurriculars. So as we formed a partnership with Clackamas Community College, we gained actually pretty good interest from students and families who wanted to participate in that program. So that program allows them to complete their high school diploma requirements, graduate with their peers, walk with their peers, and at the same time complete an Associate of Arts Oregon transfer degree that is a completion of their first 2 years of college.
Yeah, it's just what a fantastic opportunity. And so explain to me more, because I think our listeners, as they hear this, like, do they go to Estacada High School and get college credits while here on campus? Are they on campus at Clackamas Community College? Like, what does those logistics look like?
Sure. Students in this particular program attend full-time at Clackamas Community College. We do provide transportation shuttle service for them. If that is a need for some of our students, and many do take advantage of that. They take all of their coursework at Clackamas Community College, and they are able to have opportunities to schedule their coursework with the college to around other interests and activities that they want to also participate here. So we have students who participate in athletic programs here with our school. They're in performing arts. They take some of our elective credit classes, but primarily they are taking coursework at CCC.
They are a student at Clackamas Community College.
They are, yes. They are taking classes alongside sitting next to college students.
Yeah, what an awesome experience and opportunity. How many students do we currently have at Estacada High School who are participating in this program?
We currently have 22 students participating in this program.
Okay. That's amazing. And what is the criteria for students to even be a part of this process?
Yeah. So what we have learned over the course of 2 years, this is our first graduating class who will have students finishing at CCC also. And some of the things that we have learned are, it really is an academically rigorous program. Yeah. So students who have been successful in math, English language arts, who have really found high school success in their first 2 years of high school are finding success at the college level courses. So it really depends on students who are independently driven. Yeah. So they want to set goals. They want to achieve those goals. They are looking to post high school graduation pursuits. And so it is a great opportunity for students who are driven to succeed personally and want to take those high level college courses.
And are looking for the next challenges. And, as you and I both read articles and things that are covered nationally, we know that since COVID, there's a lot of press ink on really trying to close the gap of students who fell behind during COVID, trying to close the gap in terms of getting students to read at grade level and all of those things. And, a lot of parents, as they read those articles, they see what we're doing for students who are behind. But this is a great example of a program that Estacada High School is doing for students who are achieving above and beyond grade level. And we're trying different pathways to really, kind of support that need as well.
Yeah, we really believe in supporting every learner at the level and at the place that they are at. And so having this as an option for those students who are ready for that has really been beneficial for them.
Yep, that's just great. And it's just great to hear that the Estacada School District really also has a plan and a strategy to support all students. And that includes those who are achieving at high levels and giving them opportunities to continue to push and challenge themselves. There's a big win, as you mentioned, in this graduating class this year, because this is year 2, which means that we'll have our first official graduates of this program. How many students are we expecting to come across the stage this year with that dual diploma?
We will have 11 students who walk across the stage having earned their high school diploma and their Associate of Arts Organ Transfer degree.
Wow. So they'll have a high school diploma and they will have already completed their first 2 years of college.
Yes.
That's just unbelievable. And aside from the accolades of receiving the diploma, students who are a part of this program, they're also saving their families tons of money. How is that?
So with our school district support in partnering with Clackamas Community College, we are able to make this accessible opportunity for families to cover the first 2 years of a college education. And with the rising costs of college education these days, and particularly post-pandemic, this is really creating an opportunity for many families who it would really be a challenge for.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, again, as you read the news nationally, student loans, student debt, just the overall financial hardships of what it takes to actually send a child to college for 2 or 4 years really is a burden on families. And so students who are participating in this process, because they're not attending school at Estacada High School full time, they're attending Clackamas Community College at full time. The taxpayers' money who comes into us to pay for that child's education, we're utilizing that taxpayer money for that kid to pay for the entirety of that tuition at Clackamas Community College. And so, not only are we spending above and beyond, this was the money allocated for educating these kids, and we're using that money allocated to educating these kids just at a different location, but it's also saving the families on the other end because that money is paying the tuition. And so these students really are debt-free in their first 2 years of college, and their ability to transfer into a 4-year institution or just head directly to the work site with their associate's degree is really quite an advantage that not many school districts are offering, certainly locally in our Clackamas County area. And so this really gives our students an advantage.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so excited about it. So if I'm a parent who's listening to this podcast right now and I'm thinking to myself, man, this is exactly what my child needs, or gosh, it sure would save us a ton of money as we're thinking about college and what this would look like. What is the criteria? Who is eligible, and how do they start that process?
Great question. So this process would start as students are sophomores, their 10th grade year of high school. Of course, parents can call and we're happy to help share information early in the year, but around late February and early March of each year, we will host a parent meeting, an evening parent meeting where we'll talk through the program, we'll talk through the course requirements, we will talk through the credit requirements of the program, the timeline, and there's an application they can submit at that time. They can, and then they'll go through an interview process with the counselor. High school counselor is very involved in this. We have one counselor dedicated to supporting students in this program who participate at CCC in this program, and as well, being a student at our high school. We'll meet with the student, meet with the parent, ensure that they have a full understanding of the commitment, of what the program looks like, and of how they can still participate as a student at Estacada High School and have that peer traditional high school experience as well, while they are mostly taking classes off campus. And so from there, we make our decisions in mid-April and notify students, and then they start scheduling classes for fall.
Awesome.
With a CCC
and
guidance
is there
counselor as well.
a minimum GPA requirement that I need to have? Is there classes that I need to take in order to prepare me for that application process?
Generally, a 3.5 GPA has shown to have students who are very successful in this program have generally had about a 3.5 GPA. That is not necessarily a requirement, but students do need to be prepared to enter college math, particularly at the 100 level. So success and academic success in Algebra 1 and Geometry, their freshman and sophomore year, really has demonstrated to be what supports the success of the college program. So those are two criteria that really are pretty important, as well as staying on track with language arts, meeting proficiency in English language arts as 9th and 10th grade. Promotes, we've seen that builds a foundation that allows them to find success in the college level courses. They do need to be prepared to take a 100 college level entry course.
Right out the gate. And I do just want to clarify that the criteria is not to separate kids or exclude kids, but to be able to get into this program is actually equally a big academic risk. And so we're trying to set some guidelines to make sure that the students that we place into this program already have a recipe and foundations for success. Because the problem is if a student is accepted and we send them full-time to CCC to start taking those 100 level courses and beyond, the consequence is if we were to place a student in there who is not ready or not prepared, then they all of the sudden get into, real risk of actual high school graduation. Because as these students are taking the Math 100 or the Writing 121s, if they were to fail one of those courses, they're equally failing their high school course, putting them behind drastically in just the credits required to meet on-time graduation. And so the criteria is there to make sure that we're setting kids up for success. It's not to push kids away in terms of that. And I just really wanted to clarify that we're doing these things to make sure that the kids that we are fully putting into that program have the opportunity to be successful in that program, ultimately launching their pathway towards that dual diploma opportunity.
Looking for a job with a consistent schedule and a real impact? Estacada School District is hiring. We're looking for school bus drivers and substitute cooks to support our students. These roles offer flexible hours, paid training, and the chance to be a part of something meaningful. Whether you're experienced or just looking to get involved, we'd love to hear from you. Apply today at estacadaschools.org and help keep our schools running strong.
And I'm excited now, which is going to be such an awesome part of this show, is to introduce a student who is in this program and about ready to complete this program. And I'm very excited today to introduce Raf, a high school senior, just a fantastic kid and just such a tremendous asset to our program. Raf, what's going on, man? How are you today?
I'm doing very well.
Not too bad?
Well. Yeah.
Good. Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you're joining us today. And I know a lot of parents, as well as some potential students, are going to want to hear your experience inside of this process as well. So you're attending full-time at Clackamas Community College while still a student at Estacada High School. If you wouldn't mind sharing, what does a typical day look like for you inside this program?
Yes. So a typical day for me would be wake up in the morning and I'm in the jazz band. So I'd go to jazz band rehearsal early in the morning. Then after I finish the jazz band rehearsals, I'd drive to CCC and finish my classes in the morning. I'd go back home, eat lunch, and study for a solid 2 hours, 3 hours, trying to finish up on homework and readings. And then after that, I'd go to practice, which would be with soccer or basketball or spring fling rehearsals. And then once I finished that, I'd be home by like around 6 p.m. And then I'd cool down and kind of reflect on my day and plan my day for tomorrow.
Yeah, that sounds like a busy day. And you're definitely a high achiever when it comes to all of those things. And I love hearing about, all the different activities. I mean, your day, because of your, affiliation with our great music program and in the jazz program. So you start your day at Estacada High School and then move on. And so, even though you're attending school full time at Clackamas Community College, I mean, do you still feel very much like you're still a part of Estacada High School?
Yeah, I do. I come here for the events that they have during lunchtime. I come sometimes and rehearse with my friends during jazz band, and I still have the time to go to the dances. I still have time to watch the football games. I still have time to do a lot of things at the high school. And I still feel part of this community and this high school.
Awesome. That's so important. And I appreciate that greatly. I'm curious in terms of like how hard it is in terms of the rigor and the curriculum. Has being at Clackamas Community College, has it challenged you in the ways that you were hoping it would challenge you? And how is the course challenge and difficulties, how is that different from your experience when you were a freshman and sophomore at Estacada High School?
Yeah, so when I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, all the classes that I would take, I would easily finish the work in class. Yeah. And I would go home and go to sports practices and not really have to worry about the homework because they'd all be done in class. However, when I went to CCC, it was different because I'd only go to classes 2 or 3 days a week. And the days that I'd have off, it took me a while to get used to them because I wasn't used to having Mondays off or Wednesdays off. And so I had to figure out I had to get used to that, having those days off. Like really, when I first started, it was a struggle, to be honest, because, we were like the first class that was doing it.
Ever.
I didn't know what really to expect.
Yep. Yeah.
But when I arrived in my first class, I was like, okay, I'm ready to take this. I was taking pre-calculus and I got to my class and the teacher was teaching something that I didn't know on the first day. I was like, what is this? So I went back home and then he gave me the homework and it was due to the next class. And I was like, how am I going to solve this? So I stayed up all night. I studied real hard and because I didn't want to fail. From the moment from that moment, that defined I don't want to fail. That's I'm going to do everything I need to do to pass this class no matter what. So I stayed up all night. And I studied as hard as I could, and I was able to turn it in that day. But that's when I knew that college is not like high school. College is something that needs to be taken more serious, and it has to be put first out of everything else. Because if you're participating in this program, you have to understand that not everything's going to go perfect. Yeah, you need to be able to prioritize that, hey, college, this is going to come first. And you have to be able to communicate not only that with your professors, but with your teachers and whoever, like the coaches, wherever you're doing, hey, I have a class, I need to do this, I need to get this done by this time. And so that's a big takeaway from that college experience that I had was that it's really important. Yeah. And I also learned a lot. I really valued learning at the college pace because I took a geography course. I took a biology course and I did lab experiments every day, every week we had a lab experiment day. And I found that really cool because every time we did those, we'd have a group and I found it really fun to be able to, have a good time while also, learning. And I found that really, really cool and really beneficial. And not only that, but having that freedom to just, drive to school and go to school. And then you might, if you want to hit study session later with your friends, you can go to the library. You can go to grab a bite of food and study at a fast food place or whatever. Yeah. And I found that really cool. And it's also I would say it's pretty weird too, not only being a college student too, because, I'd pull up to the bus rides to go to play basketball and they'd be like, where'd you come from? I'm like, I just came from school. And I'd be like, what do you man, people you do early college? I'm like, yeah. And that's another thing too. A lot of the professors they don't recognize early college students there.
Yeah.
Because there's others like from here that also go there. And when I remember I told my professor, oh, I'm like 16 years old. And he looked at me like, you're 16? I'm like, yeah. And then that's when I realized this isn't pretty common. Like the professors see this. And I really had a really good connection with my trigonometry professor. She really I really got to know her, and she got me into mathematics a lot when she by her teaching.
Yeah.
And I find that really, really cool. And it was weird sitting next to people in my class, just to put an example, in my chemistry class, in my chemistry group, I'm right now I'm 18, but the one of my lab mates is 30, and then another lab mate's 22, and then it's a big age gap. But I found it really nice because it kind of helped me socialize more with people that come from different backgrounds and from different age groups. I find that really really interesting because, and when you go here in high school, you're only talking with people that are your age or close to your age. But once you go to college, you're talking with people that, might not even be from Oregon, and they might not even be in the same age group as you. You guys have different pop culture references. You guys have different music tastes. You guys grew up in different eras, and it was really nice and not only that, but just hearing their stories too, talking with people and getting to know new people that was also really, really fun. And I guess that was pretty much sums up that college experience for me. But when I was talking about actively pursue what you want, I realized it's not guaranteed that you're gonna find your purpose in life just by taking these academic stuff, but it's also you have to actively pursue it by yourself. Don't wait for it to come to you, because that's what I kind of expected my first year. And I was but then I realized, no, I gotta find what I want to do. So I had to go out of my own way to be I talk with people. I kind of talk hey, what do you do? What are you majoring in? And what got you into that? And so I kind of took pieces from other people's stories and kind of reflected on, is that what I like? Is that what I don't like? And what did they do that was and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what really got me into that sort of stuff, into that. And that's another piece I would say. And that's really important too, because these 2 years of early college can really help you if you use it the right way. I don't want future students, I don't want them to take classes and be oh, wait, I want to do this, when they could have taken those during the early college program. So before it'd be so much better if you go into this program knowing what you want to do. So I'd say by your freshman and sophomore, you should actively be pursuing what you want to do. Don't wait for it to come to you, so that when that time period comes where you can apply to this program, you're hey, I know what I want to do, and I know that I want to do it, and you're independently driven to be able to do that. So yeah.
That's awesome, and I really appreciate your ability to adapt. When you're learning about just how to utilize your time in a more independent way and responsible way, which is just incredible. Raf, tell us what's next for you now that you are going to graduate with your associate's degree. I mean, how are you going to use this experience for your next steps?
So with this associate's degree, I was able to finish a lot of my prereq classes, and I was also able to take more advanced math classes like calculus 1 and 2, and I'm currently taking a vector calculus class.
Wow.
And that's helping me prepare to take the higher level mathematics classes for mechanical engineering, which is what I'm going to pursue at Oregon State University.
Very cool.
So,
and so a big question, I know that there's a lot of families, who are listening and thinking about, is this the right program for their child? Is this a program that you would recommend? And what advice would you have for kids thinking about it, as well as parents who are thinking about it for their kids?
Yeah, so I kind of narrowed it down to 3 things. One is, as a student and parents, there has to be good communication with each other. It helped me a lot to talk with my parents about what I'm doing in class, and it helped me because it allowed my family to have that strong connection during this new academic pathway.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I would say is to develop time management skills. Really strengthen that, because that will allow you to really and still enjoy high school while doing the early college program. And the third thing I would say is to actively search for what you want to do. I came into the program not knowing what I wanted to do, but over the course of the 2 years that I was there, I really got into mathematics. And then I stumbled upon like the engineering professors there and the mathematics professors, and that really got me interested into mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
So my advice for the students, is the biggest one, is don't wait for that magic moment to happen out of nowhere. Try to actively pursue it while you're at college. You know, you could join the clubs, you can join a lot of things. Just actively try to look for it.
That's fantastic advice. And that's an Estacada high school student right there. Just so impressive. We're so proud of you. How about social life? When you were at college, did you meet some friends and make some friends that didn't necessarily go to Estacada High School?
Yeah, I made some friends at CCC. Right now I'm taking a chemistry course, and I was placed with a lab group that I really talk to every time we're in class. And we always, talk, hey, do you want to study at this time? And like, it's really fun because it makes the environment, like the learning environment, a lot cooler and a lot better. So yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And what a neat opportunity. And, Leah, it is graduation season. I'm so excited to watch our executive board of directors hand Raf and those 11 students walking across the stage, but also the hundreds of others who are going to be receiving their high school diploma. How is graduation looking for us right now at Estacada High School?
It's looking great. We are ready. We are planned. We're ready. We're just waiting for next week so we can start setting up. And that's one of our most exciting weeks of the school year here.
Yeah, that's great. And, I know that, graduation is such a rite of passage, not only for our high school, but also our community as well. And the graduation festivities don't start and end with the thousands of people in our football stadium, watching their kid, grandkid, niece, and nephew walk across that stage. What are some other just big festivities that occur during our graduation season?
You're right. We have, I would say, one of the nicest graduations that I have been to, and I've been to many.
Yeah.
And we really take pride in our community in this moment. We have some recognition assemblies happening next week. We've got a senior lunch. There will be a baccalaureate event. We've got a grad walk where we'll take all of our graduates in their caps and gowns, and we walk through every one of our school buildings, and all of our younger students and aspiring graduates look up to them. There's high fives and big smiles. Our whole school district is involved, and we really take pride that this is a full K-12 accomplishment for our students and all of the staff that have participated along the way. And so we try to make this a full experience for everyone to enjoy and celebrate and congratulate our students.
Yep. And I also think one of the unique things that our school district does, which I think is a neat piece as well, is after the graduation ceremony, we have a very big fireworks show, one that rivals any fireworks show in the school district. Do you know what time that is? And, what's that's all about?
Yep. So the fireworks will happen after graduation at 9:15, and viewing anywhere from right in front of the high school and around the parking lot inside of River Mill Elementary, anywhere in that area, you'll see them. They'll launch from behind the high school.
Yeah. What a great way just to celebrate our outgoing class who are soon to be alumni of this great school district and great community. And I'm just so proud that the whole community, not just the school district, has the opportunity to share and celebrate that. And as Leah just told you about the time, make sure you have your dogs inside the house so I can limit my email complaints about the fireworks show. But at the same time, it's just such an awesome opportunity. And we do just ask patience from our community to just give us the opportunity to really celebrate kids. Because as we know, and we're so lucky and fortunate to live in a small town, it takes a village to raise all of these children. We're so happy and proud to be a part of that. But at the same time, these graduation ceremonies and this fireworks show is really a community celebration of all the work that's gone into educating and raising these children. I do have one final question for Leah, because we know we have parents listening, and we know that there are several parents who are going to say, this is exactly what my kid needs. But we know know there's also parents who are listening and are saying, this seems pretty intense and an intense program that my kid may or may not be ready for. Is this the only way that my kid can even get college credits, is if they get into this? And the answer to that is no, but I'd love for Leah just to be able to talk to our parents about the multitude of pathways that we have where kids can get college credit, not necessarily an associate's degree as they cross the graduation stage, but they can still get a head start in college credits. Leah, how do we do that at Estacada High School?
Sure. Currently, students are also have the option to take an online class through CCC. So we have a lot of juniors and seniors who are not ready to take on the full early college program, but do want that dual credit, like you said, or college credit as they're graduating. So they can take online Writing 121. There are some math courses that they could take online. We do have a couple of dual credit options here that are taught by our teachers currently. And we're also looking to expand to offer more college level courses on campus here, taught by our Estacada High School teachers. And so we are currently pursuing that. And we hope and believe that we will have some of those credit options set up for next year. So some of our juniors and seniors will be able to come to school in the fall, arrive at EHS on the regular bell schedule that we run. They'll go to an English class. They will take an English class. They will get a high school credit toward graduation. And they will also earn a Writing 121 college credit as well, taught by one of our teachers here.
Yep. That's fantastic. And so if you are a parent just hoping that your child can get a leg up in some college credits, but not go through the intensive program of the CCC program, your local high school also offers opportunities just for your kids to get a head start in some college credits. And so we offer all of it. And really there's a great menu of things to choose from. And so again, this comes back to your local high school and your local school district are really being as innovative as we possibly can to meet the needs of our parents, but also at the same time ensuring that we're competing in a very big school choice market right now. And we are so proud to be able to convey to our community that this innovative approach of really trying to accommodate to the needs of each individual family has allowed us to be a school district that has retained its local community kids, while at the same time growing because more families are choosing to move to our community and participate in our great school district. As you read the news, both locally and around the country, school districts are plummeting in student enrollment. And across the United States, just public education in the United States, they have lost 5% of their overall student enrollment for families who are now choosing to go to charter schools and choosing to go to different educational opportunities. The Estacada School District is up 17%. And so that should be a data point to you that tells you that this school district is doing everything we can to offer different opportunities for students to choose and for families to choose. And we are so extremely proud of that. But right now we have to go because Raf needs to get to his first period class at CCC, as well as pick up his graduation gown from Clackamas Community College so that he can walk across that stage, which we are so very proud of. Thank you so much for tuning in to our second episode of Office Hours. It's just a pleasure to have the opportunity to share a little more deeply about the great things happening inside your local Estacada School District. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.